It's 200 miles of white-knuckle racing from Daytona as the ARCA Racing Series opens up the 2010 racing season. Flag in the air. We're underway with the 2010 season. James Busher was on the inside of row number 1 and that number 51, and he's first to go into turn 1.
Yeah, Joey Coulter jumps in behind him in the 16 car. See Danica on the outside.
They're worried about 2 wide, already 3 wide. Got a lot of rookies in the field with some good experience.
You know, I talked to Nelson Piquet Jr. just before the race started, and he's been under the weather. He actually took some IV at the Infield Care Center, and he didn't come down here for the test, Darrell. He has never tested, never drafted in one of these cars.
Yeah, you know what? I'm watching Danica's eyes, and she's not looking around. She is focused on that yellow line. That's all she's looking at right now. She never even looked behind her. Watch. She's not using the mirrors or anything else. She is concentrating on staying on that yellow line.
She's probably already moved the steering wheel more in this race than she does in a 500-mile race in Indianapolis.
Yeah, that's something that some of these drivers that come from Indy have to get used to. You got to crank on these cars.
On the racetrack, the 52.
Bill Baird.
Steve more problems. Cars coming in. We've got accidents on the racetrack.
That looks like Leilani Munter right there.
Leilani Munter involved. Numerous cars involved in this one.
It's another new thing for Danica. This is a restart. She had an initial start, did great. Now she has a restart.
Field coming back into the tri-oval. Green flag back in the air. We're back underway.
I think Danica started to dip to the bottom, and somebody must have hollered at her to stay up there until you get past the start-finish line, because she almost made a move there.
3 wide right in front of her.
And cars coming fast behind her. Problems right there in front of her. Sliding down in turn number 1. It's the 22. Oh, and again we've got problems. Craig Gose in the 81 slides into the 22 of Dakota Armstrong. Green flag back in the air. Pretty good restart as they all cross the start-finish line. No one bottled up this time.
Danica gave herself, that last restart got her attention. She gave herself a little extra room that time.
That's how you do a start. Good job. Come on.
Upside down goes the car coming out of turn number 4.
I don't know what's
like the 48 car, possibly.
All the way around. That could be Jill George. Yes, it is. Jill George in the number 48 comes rolling to a stop at the entrance to pit road.
These guys are going to get a little bit racy here.
Coming into the tri-oval. Bobby Gerhart leading the field. 5-time winner of this race. Green flag back in the air. Great restart for Bobby Gerhart. Again, just behind him, Mark Thompson, Allie Owens, and Justin Marks.
Now we're going to get side by side. Justin Marks goes to the outside. That's the 32 car of Allie Owens. James Busher is going to follow Justin Marks on the outside.
What will Danica do now? Will she stay down on the bottom of the racetrack, or will she go with that moving line up high?
I think she needs to stay with that 51, DW.
Well, I think she needs to stay on that yellow line, because that was her game plan. I think she ought to stick to it. She was going to come up off that bottom, try to go with that 51. I hope that works out for her.
Joey Coulter's looked like he was going to close that hole on the bottom.
It looks as though they are moving on that high line. The 51 and the 7.
The first time I've seen Danica off of the yellow line in 2 days.
She's going to stay to the back bumper of the 51. Here comes the 51 of James Busher making the move on the lower line. Bobby Gerhart in front of the field once again. 5 times he's hoisted the trophy at the end of this race. Can he make it 6?
Yeah, you said the 5 car. Gerhart is missing the bumps. That's why he goes up just a little wee bit. Watch some of the other cars. Now that the lights are coming on, you'll see sparks coming out from the other cars. He doesn't do that. He's just avoiding the bumps, which is actually making his car go faster.
You know, Danica's here to learn, DW. She's here to get experience. That may be good for her experience. Now she's going to get behind the cars. She's going to have to try to make some moves as we see Patrick Shelter lose a spot to James Busher. Now she's going to have to pass some people and make some moves to get back up towards the front. Watch this now. That's Tommy Joe Martin's right behind. Tommy Joe Martin's. Danica moves to the inside. Nelson Piquet gets a little bit loose. She's on the inside against the white line, and Nelson Piquet Jr. forces her down off the racetrack. And look at this ride through the grass she has.
I'll tell you, this right here is car control. Now, that's something that you got it or you don't.
Take a look at her hands here. This is when it happens.
Right now, she's just riding along straight, then she gets hit.
She's got some quick hands. Look at that, IndyCar style. Let go of that steering wheel. Look at her.
And the car almost righted itself. But the thing I like, when it did straighten out, she didn't have the wheels cut all the way to the right where she was going to go back up on the racetrack.
4 tires, fuel 3 rounds down on the track bar. Some major adjustments for Danica Patrick. She wasn't happy with the race car right before that, so this is giving them a great advantage to get fresh tires, make the adjustments. She was sliding around the nose and was a little bit loose on that race car. Now she does have a little bit of slight damage. They're going to work on that with the hammer. Of course, she has some left rear quarter panel damage from earlier in the race.
You got to give a tip of the hat to Allie Owens, too. Here she sits running third, very patiently sitting there. And if Mark Thompson's not careful, she's going to be right by him.
We talked about Allie on one of our NASCAR live show and said that we may have a female win here at Daytona, and it might not be Danica. It may be Allie Owens. Top of your screen, the green and black car. That's Barry Fitzgerald. It gets a little bit loose, slides off the racetrack, and just turns around backwards the wrong way.
These cars are the way they're set up. When they go on the left side like that, it's just almost they turn over. It's the way the cars are set up.
Down on the bottom of the racetrack, currently running in the 7th spot.
There you go. You take it. Nice and easy. Easy. If he gives it. There you go.
Got him.
How about that now?
I don't think he gave it. I'm not sure she took it.
No, he went up the hill, and she was there, buddy.
And now she's going to look to the outside of that 35 of John West Townley. Can she get back up into the top 5? Well, she's in the top 5 now. Can she improve her position?
5 to go.
The very first stock car race for Danica Patrick, and she has put an exclamation point on her driving abilities tonight. Bobby Gerhart leading. He's won 5 times before, looking to make it 6.
Here's Danica, moves to the outside of John West.
Trying to take away 4th from John West Townley.
Hold your line. Inside 51.
Whoa, he's getting a little too racy here now. You better watch out.
Stays to the outside. Let's see if she'll get any help.
Patrick Shelton will move up there in front of her, but doesn't look like he's going to do it yet.
She stays high, trying to go by the 60 of Patrick Shelton. Now tucks in behind him. We'll see if they can work together and move the high line up.
And how about the GOAT, Ricky Carmichael? All of a sudden, here he is in the mix.
Breaking into the top 5 is Ricky Carmichael. He runs side by side with Danica.
These things are bouncing all over the place.
Who's your partner? Who do you want to have as your dancing partner at Daytona? Oh, smoke coming out of...
That's Terry Jones. Actually, the one car came off turn 2, bounced off the wall into Terry Jones.
That's Allie Owens gets sideways as well. We see Allie Owens. It looks like there might be some fluid on the racetrack. Allie Owens gets sideways.
No caution.
No caution yet. She's off the racetrack right now. If she can get it refired, I think we'll stay green.
2 laps of racing to go. They stay green. No caution flag has come out. The question is there fluid on the racetrack? We're going to find out very shortly.
These other cars are getting through here just fine. I think that was just maybe a reaction to the smoke.
The pack making its way down the backstretch and into turn number 3. Still chasing Bobby Gerhart.
White flag this time, boys. Yeah, the track's clean. I don't see any problem.
Bobby Gerhart.
We're going to have some lap cars. That might create a problem. Got a couple of lap cars up here that are going to come into play. Frank Kimmel's one of them. Frank's smart guy. He'll get out of the way.
One to go. 1 lap remaining from Daytona International Speedway. The Lucas Oil Slick Mist 200 on its final 2.5 miles. Bobby Gerhart in command of this race. Mark Thompson running second.
Boy, that Gerhart car is strong, man. He comes up off of turn 2. Gaps the guys behind him a little bit.
Frank Kimmel had problems earlier. He moves to the inside. He's a slower lap car.
They just can't close that. That 5 car came off of turn 2 that time. Man, he put some distance. There is a lap car. This could be a problem.
Bobby Gerhart and Bill Gerhart spend all their time working on super speedway practice and testing, and it is going to pay off. Bobby Gerhart coming into the Tri-Oval. He will win his 6th super speedway race from Daytona International Speedway. Danica's trying to go down. Ricky Carmichael's trying to hold his position.
Right now.
At the stripe, it looked like Danica snuck just in front of him.
And Danica Patrick getting a hug from crew chief Tony Uri Jr. He just said, "I'm real proud of you." On the radio, he said, "You done good," which in stock car talk means it was a pretty impressive run for Danica Patrick.